Jack, Will, this is the Mallin Sky Raider. Six. Should have your cursor. Yes. Closer. All right, and up here. Nope. There you go. F5. Yeah, we do have the MFR 8 on there, by the way. Starting to see a little bit of noise, so what we're going to do is still 1 second exposure, though. We've got two 10mm spacer rings on there now. So we're at 1 second exposure. Actually, I want to try something. Okay, this is half a second exposure. That's what we're talking about when it comes to exposure and the sensitivity. The gain's at 5, all the way up. So we are located at 500 milliseconds exposure. Allow me to show it to you. That's a half a second exposure. And this is a 6-inch telescope. In fact, we're going to try something else. Right here, we're getting a little bit pixelated all over the place, which is normal. That's the noise. No, this is S Gross 111. I don't know what your first name is. The reason the ring looks small because this is only a 6-inch telescope. Here, I'm going to show you what sensitivity is all about. Here, look at guys. This is half a second exposure. We're going to do more experiment later, S. Gross. I don't know what your first name is. If you could type in your... Oh, Steve. All right, cool. I'm blind tonight, Steve. Sorry. We're going to change that to 1/4 of a second. I'm just curious, guys. That's all. Sounds good, Steve. Hey, let's go 1/4 second so where we won't see anything. Hang on, bear with me. We're just going to increase the histogram here. But I no longer detect a signal in the histogram. Histogram right now is set at 0 and 21 instead of 0 and 255. Let me. No, this is live. Here, I'm gonna wiggle my mouth. Okay, there you go. Hang on a sec. Let me show you here, Steve. Just bear with me for a moment. I'll just put 1 second exposure, and you're going to see the movement. Hang on. Just stay with me here, Steve. Just a second. watch. I'm going to wiggle my mount. Well, I hope I won't make it go out of whack. Okay. That's a solid mount, isn't it? Actually, the exterminator is going to show a sharper image. Much sharper image. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to get out of those crazy exposures. Right now it's at 1 second. Let's go back at 250 millisecond. That's kind of cool. This is a 1/4 second with a 6-inch telescope. When we talk about signal to noise ratio, this is what we're going to be looking at. What is visible through the noise? I am going to move the histogram here at 0 and 11. We still see the object, never mind the stars at the moment, but we still see M57 over there, and signal to noise ratio of a clean circuitry allows you to show an object. Even if the object is not all that good, that's okay. Here's what we're trying to get at. What is the noise? Obviously, we see it happening all over the place. We've got video noise happening. But we still see M57 in there, although it's not the best. The idea is to have signal to noise ratio. We need to see the object above the noise level for the shortest exposure time possible. This is video, not imaging. Now, what are exposure time? This is a 1/4 second. We're going to leave it a 1/4 second because a 1/4 second is quite quick. The gain's all the way up, so you can see the noise ratio is quite low because we're still picking up a magnitude 9 object. Is this thing still working? Because it has a tendency to crash. Yeah, it is, all right. All right, so what we're going to do is gradually go up in exposures. We're going to make a big jump. So we're going to go from 1/4 second, okay, and we're going to go to a whopping 10 seconds. But for that, I'm going to need to reset my histogram. Hang on. Okay. Now we're going to go to 10 seconds. The sky's still blue here, by the way, folks, and there's 10 seconds. Okay, now we're going to have to do some adjustments. Remember the noise we saw? Well, okay, these are interline you're looking at because I changed the time setting between interline refresh. The next refresh will have both odd and even field align. Just wait a moment, another 10 seconds, and we're going to have the even field align. There you go. This is 10 seconds. Now what we need to do, obviously, is to reset the histogram. Now this is a 10 second. Just bear with me for a moment. We're going to have to lower the gain as well. The gain is set at 5, which is maximum. The gain also plays a major role as far as sensitivity is concerned. We're going to put the gain at 3 actually instead of 5. Actually, no, at 2.50. Again, we just saw the interline, which is odd field and even field, and the adjustment was done between the capture of both. There you go. Now, this is a 10-second shot. We're not done yet, folks. We're going to switch from grayscale, monochrome, to color. Because the ICX 829 is equally sensitive black and white as it is in color. There you go. The sky is still blue, as you can tell, and we are detecting colors in M57. This thing's still working. Yep. Oh, that's a big one. Okay, thanks, Jack, for confirming. Jeez, look at the size of that mosquito.
Huge.
Okay. The hell is that?
Yeah, it's a different species.
Okay, we've got a mosquito from China here, and it's pretty big. I think it's going to eat us. Okay, I'm going to wait a little bit before we go more exposures, because the sky is blue still. We don't have total darkness. But meanwhile, there's nothing holding us back from doing experiments. Okay, Steve, sounds good. This is just a 6-inch scope. I wish I could show you a little bit where the web page where the scope is. You'll be able to see it. But anyways, the image is not the clearest on Night Skies Network right now because I'm using a program called
Split cam?
Oh yeah, split cam. That's it. Split cam, and that allows us to take a sample of the image and rebroadcast it back on NSN. The resolution and the sharpness you're looking at is probably 50% better than what we're seeing live. I mean, live is a much better image than this one. We're going to wait a little bit to take a dark frame, and the dark frame subtraction in this case is not a dark frame. It's called a dark field correction. And for that, we are going to increase the exposure a little bit. All right, we're going to go to, how about if we go to 20-second exposure? And we're going to see what kind of result we're going to get out of that. We're going to see more hot pixels, and we'll get rid of them in a moment. And I'm going to watch this guy here at the bottom, 82, 83. See, we did the changes. See, we did the changes while an exposure of odd field or even field looks to me like it's even field actually. What's happening? Oh, you will. If you change the F ratio, Steve, this is a small scope. And if I take the focal reducer off, you're going to see it very clearly. Yeah. Yeah, good. Check out the... Yeah, there's a lot of pictures, Steve, on the Mallin Yahoo group. In the photo section, you can certainly go investigate and check out. Okay, right now we've got a 20-second exposure color. What I'm going to do is initiate a 4 dark field correction frames, and I'm going to go cover the scope. So bear with me for a moment. Where's the scope? Where's the cover? There it is. All right. Put that on top. There. I'm going to wait. Next review. Oh, yeah, you'll see it. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. There. There's quite a lot. You'll see. Good day, Mega Bob. How are you today? We're just waiting for darkness here, and we're going to take a dark field correction. Huh? 85. That's all day. If you come straight in front, you'll see. Now, what you're looking at is the hot pixels, and what we're going to do is take dark field correction and watch what it's going to do. I've got a bit of angle here, lower left, and a little bit there. This is typical of the ICX 829. But once you take a dark field correction, everything's gone. So I just initiated. You're going to see a countdown timer here. So I'm going to take 4 frames of 20 seconds each. That means it'll take Yeah, 20 seconds each. It'll take 40 seconds each to, because it has to take one in odd field and even field. There you go. The first one's been taken. We're in the process of taking dark field correction at the moment. And we're going to show you what that's going to do. Just in a moment. It's going to clean up the image completely. You won't have any hot pixels left. You won't have any dark amplo anywhere left. It's going to make the image a lot smoother and a lot nicer, and it's on the fly.
See what sort of shows up rocky.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I got this at 20 seconds. I'm going to use the 20 seconds for now.
Yeah.
There you go. The second one just got taken.
Yeah.
Well, that crap's going to be gone. This is going to be gone. You'll see. It's going to be a nice image.
Let's see.
It's going to be a really neat image. But no, the sky's not dark enough. I still think so blue.
Yeah.
It'll be a nice clear night tonight. It's who? Oh, I did, yeah. Oh, cool. If I do that, we're going to see it while I'm taking the dark frame.
Okay.
I'll show you it after.
Okay.
We got 3 frames taken. I'll wait till the 4th one and I'll show you.
Yeah. See, we'll see a huge difference.
So what I did is basically warmed up the camera a little bit and played with different settings. And what we're doing now is taking, there you go, it's ready. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to get up and remove the cap. You only do that once a night. Or you can pull up a library with it. So now we're going to take this off. Get that down. Okay. There. We're going to wait for the taking exposure. Now I took the cap off while the exposure's going. So what we're seeing here is part of a field, odd field or even field. The next refresh, we're going to have a much nicer image. There, now we could say, all right, bitmap files, skyradius, sure. This is a dark field. See? 20x4. Dark field correction, 20 seconds times 4. So I'm going to save it. Okay, now we're ready to go. Watch this. Okay, we just enabled the dark field correction that we just taken. Watch all the hot pixel disappear and the image is going to clean up nicely. Once this is done, you could save it into a file and use them for later, or you could use it every night. I prefer to use every night. It just gives me something to do and make me get up and do exercise. The sky's not fully dark yet. We still detect blue. That's okay. All right, there we go. It's going to come the next refresh. And pay attention to those hot pixels here, here, up there. The little sharp guys there, you'll see. Watch the next refresh. So 93. Watch this. All right, it's coming. There's a hot pixel there, hot pixel. Everything's going to go. I think that, oh, that's a star. Oh, it did go through. So many stars, it's hard to tell. Yeah, it is. You can tell you got little black dots. we need to do is shut this off and go to the histogram. And the reason we got black dots because the sky is not 100% dark. This thing's still working. Let's crash. Oh, there we go. Okay, no, it's default. No, I gotta leave saturation the way it is. Gamma the way it is. We may have a little bit too much gain. The reason it's blue, we still got blue skies, so we're gonna have to wait and take more dark field correction frames when the sky is really black. Black. We could flip mode and we could go black and white mode. See, the dark field correction, what it did is we got a little bit of reddish on the lower left. Okay. So that's where the amber was. We should have took dark field correction, black and white. Black and white's cool. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to disable the dark field correction. All right, 96, so 97 will be our next frame. We're going to repeat the experiment here quickly. And what we're going to do is remove the focal reducer. We'll go at full F9. And one of the reasons we're going to do that is we will show you the sensitivity of the chip. Earlier we went down to 250 milliseconds, quarter of a second exposure, and we certainly did had good results. Okay, there you go. This is no correction. This is 20 seconds. We are going to go back down to, actually, we're going to go down to 1 second. This is 1 second exposure. I've got the gain up and I got a histogram at 0 and 35. You can actually see the refresh rate of the noise in the background. That's a hot pixel right there, little guy. Because I took the, now if I activate the dark field correction, it'll be too much of an exposure. We're going to lose a lot of, that's why building up a bank, yes. You basically pick the exposure you're going to need and or use, and you'll be good to go. All right, hang on. I was supposed to do that. Let's do some fine-tuning adjustments. What I'm going to do is center M57 right in the middle, so that will be easy to redefine again at F9. We're going to put the scope at F9 instead of F4.5, and that's going to give us a good idea. Just a moment, I'll be right back. Center this guy here. That means we're going to have to add most likely spacers on the focuser. Well, I'm dropping a green one. Huh. You get on pretty cool, boy. Listen to that. like about that little flashlight. It's magnetic, so you stick it on. You get to, I'm supposed to stay. There you go. Alright. Actually, I'm gonna put this behind here. There you go.